Hi, welcome to Greystone Demonstration Garden. I'm George Pessin. I'm the caretaker and custodian here. It's my job to make sure that all the plants are happy. And it's a job that I love. But also, I am a teacher here. We had a whole slate of garden classes that I was going to teach here in the spring, but unfortunately, they were canceled. So instead of you guys coming here, I'm going to come to you. We're going to be able to grow a garden together through a couple of short videos, and I'm going to tell you step by step how you're going to do this at home. So first thing is location. Where is the garden going to go? Ideally, we want southern exposure. Southern exposure will give your plants sunlight all day. And the plants need sunshine to be able to perform photosynthesis, which provides them the energy to perform all their tasks like making new cells, making fruits, making seeds, etc. So southern exposure would be our first choice. If by chance you do not have southern exposure, western exposure would be your second choice, eastern exposure your third choice, and then northern exposure. Unfortunately, northern exposure does not get any direct sunlight, so try to get either south or west to be able to grow for all the different kinds of fruits and vegetables. If perhaps you don't have 6 to 8 hours of sunlight, you can still grow things, but you're limited to plants that don't fruit. For instance, lettuce or arugula or spinach, those or herbs. Those are okay to grow in less than ideal sunlight conditions. But for things like fruit trees or tomatoes, cucumbers, zucchini, you want full sun. To be able to, for the plant to be the best that it can be, you want full sun. Next consideration is, where is your water coming from? If you happen to have a garden in the back of the house and your spigot's in the front of the house, you're going to need a very long hose. We'll get more into irrigation about how to water the next couple of lessons, but for right now, just know where your water source is coming from. Next consideration is going to be seeds or seedlings. Now there's a couple of benefits to both, so let's just get into each one. First off, with seeds, they're going to be a lot cheaper. So a package of seeds is $3, whereby one plant can be $3. So you'll save a lot of money if you go with seeds. You're also going to have a lot more choices with seeds. You know, you go to a catalog, an online catalog, there may be 25 different types of tomatoes and 10 different types of eggplants and, 10 or 12 different kinds of winter squash. You'll be lucky to find winter squash at a nursery. They may have pumpkins if you're lucky, but they're not going to have all different kinds of acorn squash or butternut squash, or maybe they won't have any eggplants at all. They'll probably have tomatoes. There'll probably be a few kinds of tomatoes. But for the more unusual vegetables, they're not going to have them. So for that, you're going to have to go to online seed stores and buy seeds. The nice thing about seedlings is that, number one, they're 6 weeks or 8 weeks ahead because they were started indoors. And so you're getting a jump on the season with seedlings. Also, if you don't plan on planting more than one of two of each variety, then that's another way why you can go with seedlings. Like, let's say you want to plant oregano. Well, you only need 1 or 2 oregano plants in your garden because oregano spreads so much. So you're not going to go out and buy oregano seeds because you don't need that many. So for that reason, you would go with seedlings. It'd be a good idea also at this point to make a little sketch of your space to see where north and south is, where east and west is. Because of the arc of the sun is east to west, your rows ideally should be north-south. And that way sunlight gets both sides of your rows. Also think about the taller plants being at the northern end and the shorter plants being at the southern end. Okay, so make a sketch, put out what you want to grow, give them, put them in rows, put them in beds, and from there we can then move on to the next step, which is, are we going to be growing in ground, in containers, or in raised beds. So first thing I want you to do is go out into your garden space, take a look around, bring your compass with you, and look for all the different places rather, that get southern exposure, that gets full sunlight. Okay, that's your assignment for today. I'll be back next time and we'll talk about where to grow, whether it be in containers or in ground or in raised beds. And we'll also talk about what to grow and when to grow it. Okay, great. See you next time.